So after doing 4x4 example solves, I was asked to do 5x5 example solves. So that's what I'm going to do today, is just I think maybe one 5x5 example solve, depending on how long it takes. And if I go over 7.5 minutes for the first one, then I just won't do a second, because 2 is just too long. That will be the same for 6x6, because it's likely within the next few days I'll be filming a 6x6 example solve, and that might be uploaded in a week or so. And for 6x6 I'll only be doing one example solve as well, because that will take way too long if I try to do 2. I won't be doing a 7x7 example solve, because the same things that you do on 6x6 mostly apply to 7x7. So in a way, a 6x6 example solve is far too similar to a 7x7 example solve, to the point where I'll be doing a whole new video and it'll just be the same thing really. Okay then, one tip before we start this example solve is, for centers you want to be able to solve on any color for any center, for any solve. So basically you need to be color neutral on centers for big cubes. It's not a hard thing to do, it's much easier than being color neutral on 3x3. The recognition is a lot easier, and honestly it's probably needed, because there might be a really bad case for white, but there might be a really good case for red. So obviously if you do a solve on white, it wouldn't be as good as centers as if you'd started on red. So it's almost essential to be color neutral for centers on 5x5. For centers anyway. For 3x3 stage, you don't have to be color neutral. Okay, then getting into the actual example solve, the first thing I see is the yellow center is very good. I have four 2x1 blocks. This one right here, this one, and then one on the back right here. So I would start off by pairing these 2 bars right here to create a 2x2 block, and then finishing off by matching this one up with here to create that 2x3 block. So here's the remaining 2x1, and I can see the remaining center is right here. So I'll match them up and pair them up to create the full yellow center. Also, another tip is that you don't want to just make 3x1s. You want to make 2x1s like I did just there, because in some cases 2x1s are much better than a 3x1 would be. Plus, if you have more flexibility, the more likely it is that you can have a good solve. Moving on to the white center, I can see I have these 2 edges here, and so I'll just bring these to the side, and then I'll bring this centerpiece down to match the entire bar up, and then I'll bring it back up. So that's one 1x3 bar there. I already have a 2x1 right here, and I can see I have a corner in the top layer. So I'll set it up, I'll match the bar, and then I'll create the 2x3. Okay, for my last white bar there's nothing paired up, but I can see that this white can match up with this, and then here's the remaining one right here. So if I move this over to here, then I can bring this down to create the 2x1, and I can bring this up to create the 3x1, and then I'll just put it into the center to create the white center. Okay, the best case here would be the green center, because I have a 2x1 right here and a 2x1 right here. So what I actually do here is, because I see that this corner is already here, and I can choose between 2 edges, I can match this corner up with one of these 2 edges to create another 2x1. So I'll put that in first, and then I'll bring this down. So I've created a 2x3 very fast. That created another 1x2, and the remaining center is right here. So I can match the bar, I can bring this back down and finish the center off. Next I will be doing the red center because I have two 1x2 blocks. They're not aligned properly, but I can see I have another 1x2 block here. So if I match this up to create a 2x2, I can bring out this incorrectly orientated 2x1 block, and then I can set it up to the point where I bring it back, it's created a 2x3. For this last case, I can see that the remaining pieces are here, here, and on the top here. So what I can do is I can bring this down to match it up with the edge, bring this across twice, and when I bring this back up, it'll create the 1x3, and then I'll just put it in to finish off that red center. Okay, this is a very easy last two center case because I already have a complete 2x3 right here. So what I'll do is I'll match this corner piece with this edge piece right here, noting that the last corner is right here. So when I bring this up, I'll bring this over twice and bring this back down, and then I'll finish off the last two centers. For edges then, I can see I have a white and green and another white and green, so I can just match them up, and the remaining one is right here. So I can bring this into the middle there and match it up here. I can see I have a green and red right here, and the other two green and red is here and here. So what I can actually do is I can bring this into the middle there and pair these two up. Now if I bring this middle one across, it won't pair up. So what I'll have to do is I'll have to flip it and then bring it across to pair it up. Okay, I notice while I was doing that, I noticed I had a blue and orange pair that wasn't correct here. So what I do is I bring this into the middle there, while bringing this green and red out. And while I'm doing that, I'm looking for the last blue and orange piece, which is nowhere in the top or middle there. So I'll rotate, and I can see the last one is right here. So I'll bring this into the middle there and pair it up where this blue and orange piece is here, and then I can flip it, so when I bring it back the whole bar is solved. So now I can see I also have a white and red bar here, so I'll bring this into the middle there, and I can see the remaining pieces right here. So I'll match it up by bringing it into the middle there, and then I'm looking for my next pair. So I can see I have a blue and red right here, and the other one is right here. I can't see the edge anywhere in the middle or top there, so when I pair these up, I know I'll have to flip again, and I can see the remaining pieces right here. So I'll match the bar up, and then I'm looking for my next edge, and I can see I have a green and yellow bar right here without the middle piece, and I can see the middle piece is right here. So when I take this out, I'll notice that if I bring this all the way across, it's like a case just before where it won't match up. So I'll flip one of these. You could flip either the two edges or the actual centerpiece, it really doesn't matter. So you'll flip that, and then you'll pair the entire bar up, and then put this into the top. So now that all four edges on the top are finished. Next I can see I have a green and orange bar here, and a blue and yellow bar here, and I can see I have my last orange and green right here. So what I'll do is I'll pair this bar up while taking note of where this goes. So I can see this blue and yellow is in the back here, and the remaining pieces right here. So I'll use this completed pair to bring this bar into the middle there, so I can pair up this edge, and then I'll put this into the top and then realign my centers because I have the first 8 edges done. For last 4 edges, I can see I have a completed yellow and red right here, and the last one is right here. So all I have to do is bring this across, I can flip it and then bring it back, and then that will solve the edge. For the last one, you can notice that I haven't got anything paired up, which can happen often enough, but basically what you just need to do is you need to do a middle layer, N prime, U2, and then M, and that will, every time, that will pair something up. No matter what, it'll pair something up. So I can see I've paired an orange and yellow right here and a white and orange right here. So I can see the remaining white and orange is just opposite this. So if I flip this, I can bring this across. But I have nothing to put it in or to replace it with, so I'll bring out this last edge right here into the top layer. So when I create this, I have something to replace it with when I realign my centers. So that also solved the orange and yellow bar, and all it left was this parity case right here. So this is the last edge that we have to solve, and the parity case is pretty easy. I'll put it in the screen right now. It's really a parity case that everyone should know, but if you don't know it, then learn it. So yeah, slowly. And then that will finish off the edges. And then 3x3 stage is pretty much the same as it would be on any other cube. 4x4, 5x5, 6x6, 3x3 itself. It's pretty much the same, so you don't really need to see that. Okay, then I'm gonna leave it at just one example solve for today because that was quite long. I should probably try and be faster when I'm doing example solves. Wish me luck for my 6x6 example solve. That will be quite long. So maybe for 6x6, instead of doing a full example solve, I could possibly do just tips and tricks for big cubes. Maybe if that would be better. I could keep something along those lines to less than 10 minutes anyway, I know that. And all I'll do is just teach you about some tips that will be useful for big cubes instead of doing a whole example solve. This has been it for this 5x5 example solve. If you want me to do more content like this, then just leave it down in the comment section below. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys next time.